program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See That.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in and helping us to redefine what's cool. What's good, y'all?
What's good, brother? Send me that, brother John.
It's too much. It's like
send me that. No, just the first paragraph. I can never get the first paragraph when you in there.
Okay, I'll make
just the first paragraph, brother John. Yeah, how you come in?
Yeah.
I just be like, oh yeah, we on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Your brother, I swear to God, it's just so smooth.
So I'm gonna tell you what's good, right? I want to be as good as that second sleep.
The second sleep is good.
The second sleep is good.
It make you late now. So I don't know. That's why I ain't calling it good.
It's good in the moment,
but I understand what you meant.
Okay, it's good in the moment, but it has consequences.
Man, I understand what you meant when I said it the second time.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, hold on.
Second sleep.
It do get. No, that ain't good. That thing up, boy. Snooze. That thing snooze hard, boy.
I got a good second sleep this morning.
Second sleep. You know what? You just laid one on me, brother John. Like I heard the Taco Bell commercial say, Shaq has taco neck. He's suffering from taco neck. So I'm like, what the world's taco neck? And so when you eat taco, you do turn your head to the side. And so Shaq eats so many tacos. That's taco neck, man. You talking about some second sleep? I don't know what this ain't a common thing we talk about here. I've never heard it until just then.
But no, I got it this morning. I got it this morning. It was good.
Good.
It was so good, I was saying, should I come?
But it does come with consequences.
Are y'all serious? Man, second sleep ain't no joke.
This was the second sleep.
Oh my God. I went back to sleep. Yeah. Oh, he know.
Oh yeah, that's the Incredible Hulk of sleep, right? You know, David Banner is the first, that second sleep. That's the Incredible Hulk. He got out mad.
What did you say, Q?
On my way.
We can just call it now the second sleep.
Second sleep, man.
Hey, I appreciate
that. Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to everybody. Yeah. We all feel good.
Yeah, we do.
And then, we be like, yes, he come.
I wake up, it's 8:45. Hey, it's
calling the show.
With the show playing on the phone. Hey, the phone playing with the show. Qiana going home. I don't know where your boy at.
Bling, calling it. Mr. Evans.
I'm on my way. But we know that's what it is. It's the second sleep.
Try it now.
You got them?
Yeah.
All right, we got them. Okay, so they tagging folks. I see Dots on here.
Man, what's up, Dot?
Rucker been tagged.
Man, me and Dot been swinging since Baltimore elementary days, y'all. It's my couple years. I've been swinging with Dog. We've been shooting the chill since Baltimore. Then we linked back up at Bogey. That's how it is in this little country town, man. You only went to about 4 or 5 schools. Then you only went to about 2 or 3 middle schools. Then you went to about 3 or 4 or 5.
I went about 9.
Oh my God. I mean, it's more than that in the county. I'm just saying, a typical person went to about 2 or 3 schools. Typical.
I did 5 in my first.
Man, I can dig it, man. That's called being poor, y'all. We moved every 9 months, y'all. Pay attention. You ain't just went to school for nothing. Hindsight. You ain't go to school for nothing. You moved every 9 months. That's called income tax. That's called getting behind in August. That's called moving. That's called moving again. You see what I'm saying? That's called being a product of people in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? The 20s when we get it right in life.
Yep.
I don't know. I went to the same.
Stability.
Yeah.
Same elementary school.
Bitch, shouts out to stability.
Yeah.
I went to Madeira Beach.
Stability.
The only reason why I changed middle schools was because my mom was like, she didn't want me at Madeira Beach no more. Then I went to Southside.
I did
Madeira Beach was gangster.
I did a semester at Madeira Beach.
Madeira Beach was gangster.
I never called Madeira Beach gangster, right?
I wanted to go to Madeira Beach. I heard about Madeira Beach.
It was.
I know I heard about
Man,
it.
listen. My mama took me out of Madeira Beach to go to Azalea. We moved across 34th then, right? Okay, so this is 7th grade, 2nd semester. I'm going to Azalea. But I already had 3 Saturday schools she didn't know about. I had 9 referrals she didn't know about. So she was taking me to Azalea, giving me the benefit to my high, embarrassed her. You embarrassing when you got all that behavior issues and got put you in them classes because you right here want to just act a fool and stuff. Man, look here. Look here, man. Slid 9 referrals past her. She didn't know about that one. Man. Oh, man. Bitch, I started Shake P, man. I met my dog Shake P. Hey, I met Shake P. Hey, boy, you right, Breno. But Madeira Beach was gangster, boy. Man, I met my dog Shake P, man, at IC or at ABC.
Okay.
And-
ABC.
It's ABC. It's ABC in middle school. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't think it's material people's case.
So they changed schools. That's how we went to different elementaries. That's what Sharonda said. But I remember when, so I was just reading this about the class of '68 and how they actually are rebranding and redoing it. I think they stopped the original class of '68 stopped
Around COVID.
around COVID, and now there's
They like, oh,
Classes
dude.
Unite is now this Classes Unite LLC. They bringing it back this year. But they were saying what made class of '68 so significant is because the following year is when they started busing. And that's when they started breaking up the schools. And so this one class.
Oh, I thought you meant busting.
No.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, we got that in our lived experience too. But I mean, no, they started doing school buses.
You don't even want to say it now.
And going to school. Yeah, I don't even want to say it. I want to clarify.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
we got people like him that
Yeah, man. We've been saying put it in the clip forever.
They weren't busing at like literally busing shots. They was just,
Busting you out.
yeah, transporting you to different schools. In 1968, what Gibbs was when that started, and it broke up. So 1969 is when it started, and it broke up kind of that camaraderie, that one class.
I get it.
And so they want to keep that going. So yeah, just as a footnote.
Oh, so they're having a class of '68.
It's yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just they're just kind of picking it up and just renamed it, and because they don't want you to call it Class of '68 no more. You know what I'm saying?
Classes Unite. Yeah.
Classes Unite. You know what I'm saying?
I've never
I've never been.
But no shade at it. No shade at the event though at all.
No,
Yeah,
I've
I've
never
never
been to the class of '68, but I know a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it says like 1,000 people at the Coliseum.
Right.
Yeah,
So
they
they're
said
having
it's
it at the
huge.
Coliseum. So I mean, the Classes Unite makes sense.
Yeah, and then they said
Because
that
everybody goes.
and then the proceeds they said go to like
A lot of people-
scholarships. They've been doing like scholarships for kids and all that with the funds. So
Yeah, that started. I remember a St. Petersburg Times article written about the class of '68, probably about 01, 02.
okay,
And I only remember it so it stood out so much because in that article it was written that it started in my auntie's living room, my uncle's wife at the time. So big shouts out to my auntie Sylvia. You know what I'm saying?
That's
She
what's
was
up, man.
she was a gill strap. So it started. The class of '68 was created in the gill strap household.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, so that's Fonzo went both with us and stuff.
people. Yeah,
And my uncle married the gill strap. Yeah,
okay.
my uncle married the gill strap.
I got you.
So that's why, yeah, that's what that started out. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty dope. So this day in history, talking about busing, it is the Sandy Hook school shooting anniversary. Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait a second, man. What? Hey, man, that was tough, though.
That wasn't it.
That was it. That was so cold and official. Like, wait a second. That's all I can say. Man, wait a second, man.
Not to make light of it, but yeah.
No, not at all.
The December 14th, 2012 was the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, where Adam Lanza killed 21st grade school employees before turning the gun on himself. Earlier that day, he killed his mom at a home that they shared. The Sandy Hook shooting was at the time the second deadliest mass shooting in the United States after the 2007 Virginia Tech incident, in which a gunman killed 32 students and teachers before committing suicide. So yeah, this is the anniversary. Investigators, they determined that Lanza who had attended the Sandy Hook school as a boy, he acted alone in planning and carrying out the attack, but they were unable to find a motive for his actions or discover why he targeted Sandy Hook.
I just want to say something real quick for those who can see us on Facebook. While I was dying laughing, while Brother John was reading that story, it was definitely not about that story at all, y'all. There's nothing like watching Charlotte Soprano do something, right? And then to look at Qiana's face and she just make that little shake of her head face, you know what I'm saying? It's a real thing. And when he would turn the radio down, I looked at Q, she like
doing that thing. But we all get it though. You get it sometimes too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
oh, I love it. That's why I was laughing so much. That's why I was laughing so much, you know what I'm saying? Man. So that's why I was laughing while Brother John was sharing that story, though. But a real story.
Yeah, real deal.
You know what I mean?
It is a real story. You got to say that.
Oh, no, they just gave your boy $1 billion on court fine because he said it wasn't real.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think.
Oh, hold on. I can't hear you. Or hold on.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No.
Oh, I know you can hear me.
They say me and Brother John.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I know
okay.
you hear me. I'm not. Oh, no.
Good morning, y'all.
But no,
okay, I can hear me
Talk
now.
about Sandy Hook,
Yeah.
and the school shootings, and what I want to say is, the reason people like Alex Jones and these different people allegedly don't believe in it because they can't believe their children are doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So they were told that the super predator was going to be black youth.
Right.
They said super predators were going to be black men.
They just out of Hillary Clinton for those bars.
Yes.
But this is where the problem was.
It was a talking point.
They misdiagnosed because the super predator did come.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the person who they said it was going to be.
Okay.
It was the Dylan Roofs. It was those school shooters.
Yeah, the Charleston guy. Yeah, that was,
and the problem is
Claiborne and all those guys. Yeah.
So they kind of retracted it.
The super predator.
The super predator. They kind of retracted it because it ended up being their sons.
They children was the super
It ended up being
their
their sons,
yeah.
and they have started a trend of school shooting. It's trend.
Yeah.
When they get mad, they want to go get the gat and go bust up the school.
Hey man, listen man. There was I mean, even recently, and then local, we have a student at Gibbs High School. I think that was caught with a gun. You know what I'm saying? And I said that to some brothers. You know, I mean, our children are still getting caught with guns and lockers and in book bags. Thank God our children are the ones that bring guns to school and use them.
Yeah, I saw that. I think he posted on social media a picture in the bathroom, and one of the teachers saw the picture and ended up, calling the authorities. They came and got him. He had the gun on campus.
Help's on the way, man. That's all I can say, man.
They say it was in Tampa police.
It was something about Tampa, but I think it was more so leading toward the Tampa Bay Times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the article was out of the Tampa Bay Times, basically.
Well, I mean,
I saw that it said Tampa twice in the article, but then when you read the actual article, it said the same piece.
I wonder, do they write a story about every gun they find?
No.
Okay. I'm just being with this thought process, right? Is it because it was Gibbs, or was it because it was online? Like, what was
I think it was because it happened. I think that because it happened here, and people report news that happened here a lot of times. No, I just don't think that it's 15 kids in Pinellas County that got caught with guns in schools, and we wasn't notified about it as the public.
Listen,
that was one of the things on social media.
I can't speak about.
No, hold on. That's what I'm saying. One of the things they were saying was that parents of students at Gibbs were not notified. Like they saw it on the news.
It's clickbait. That's the point I'm making.
Okay,
is it really to inform us, or is it to drag us down a wormhole?
Right.
It's news.
Yeah. So also in the news, the KFC employee in St. Louis has been hospitalized after a customer shot him because he was upset that the restaurant had run out of corn.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
The shooting happened on Monday evening in the Central West End in St. Louis. You got people in St. Louis, right?
Yes, sir.
Investigators said the man tried to place an order in the restaurant's drive-through lane. He became upset and threatened employees when he was told that the business was out of corn. The man had a handgun when he drove up to the window. A 25-year-old employee went outside to talk to the driver, returned to the restaurant, and said he had been shot. The driver fled and had not been arrested as of Tuesday afternoon. The victim was hospitalized, but in stable condition.
I want to get more about that shooter. I want to know about that shooter upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like you was lacking a male influence in your life.
You think so?
A lot of times, not all times. There's people who are bad criminals out here that come from a 2-parent household, right? But the statistics show that like a lot of times when you got a man in your life, you know what I'm saying, during your upbringing, he help you think first before you do stuff. You don't just think so. You don't just move out of rage and emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because a man tend to calm that down inside of a boy's life.
Yeah.
You know
because I mean, they out of corn, bro. Like
that's nothing, like bro.
Them selling all the corn.
It's another one around the corner, bro.
Yeah, like you finna really.
Corn costs $1.20.
You finna kill somebody over some
what it is.
Corn.
The biggest thing is like it's a rejection mechanism.
Okay,
you done been rejected for something you want.
And you associated with something that you was rejected with
like
in your life.
Broke the camel back.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
You know, like something else happened.
I'm tired of y'all always doing this to me.
Right, and then every time
it's nobody but just one person saying they ain't got corn today, but you associating with it with all the trauma with somebody done told you all your life or something.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Heal through your childhood traumas, y'all. Man, I've heard that before, and
no, that's real.
I mean,
and necessary.
They're like commissary, y'all.
Yeah. All right, it's a massive storm that's actually heading this way. It's a massive U.S. storm brings tornadoes and a blizzard in Dallas, Texas. I think this cold front's supposed to be coming with the storm, so make sure that y'all prepare yourself. Your parents prepare your children because it's gonna get cold. I think the
Cold front coming, man.
Cold front coming.
You can feel it right now.
And it's supposed to be cold, not
So
like the other one. Yeah.
I just left from up north.
Oh yeah, where you came from, Q?
I was in Baltimore and it was cold.
Cold or cold?
Be more.
Be more careful.
Cold or cold?
It was cold to me.
Cold is freezing.
I mean, you ask anybody else. It was cold to me.
What's the temperatures like in Baltimore, Maryland right now, Q?
It was like 49.
That's freezing, y'all.
Okay.
And then
That's
you know what? And then it got
39, 37.
It got a little bit 40.
I thought 32, but anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
I'm just saying in the trade.
Listen. The newscasters will tell y'all straight up when the temperatures are getting into the low 50s. The newscasters are gonna word it as freezing temperatures. So y'all ain't gonna sit here
Okay.
tell me that 40 degrees because it ain't got the 32 Celsius.
Man.
I'm saying, boy, I'm freezing.
In the 50s.
First of all,
I'm freezing.
Freezing in the 50s.
Man, I'm freezing in the 50s.
Let Qiana go.
I'm gonna say this is that if it hit 50, everybody in here is freezing because we
Yes.
all from Florida.
Yeah, we from here.
So
I
don't
ain't
act
talk like that. I ain't talking tough about the weather, boy.
Yeah, like it ain't freezing.
Please,
No,
sir.
it was actually really cold, but it was a nice. Cheyenne was booked for our Christmas program
I wonder why they keep
that
doing
we
that.
went out there. I
Why
don't
they
know
why they keep booking?
No,
Why they keep booking Cheyenne
No,
for
why
Christmas festival?
Why the camera keep going out?
I don't know
But
why the camera keep on going out.
but Tweet said it's cold here, and I think that's
Yeah.
She said
She in the A.
feels frigid, but it's only 42.
That's right. See, listen,
Who say frigid?
Frigid.
Tweet, did you say frigid?
Paul Delgado at channel 13
What?
says freezing at 40.
And it's frigid at 42,
Hey,
right?
no, that's Clystron. It's you know, it's a boyfriend named Clystron too. Yeah, we gotta do better. Y'all.
Name him Clystron.
Come on, man. I don't heard somebody call their son Clystron. I'm not lying. This is not a Reno Moore fact.
But check on your people though. They said it's expected to hobble people in the upper Midwest with ice, rain, and snow for days, as well as move into the Northeast and Central Appalachians. Residents of West Virginia and Vermont were told to watch out for possible significance of mix of snow, ice, and sleet. And they issued a winter storm warning and watch on Wednesday night, which is tonight through Friday, up in those areas.
So we got the word of the day.
And like my mother-in-law would say, we're gonna get some of the cold off of it too. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's an old time phrase.
yeah, we're gonna get the cold
Listen,
off
man,
of it.
this time of the year, man, I remember being in line. My granddaddy, man, on 28th Street, 18th Avenue, man, kerosene line that is.
Yeah,
I was just about
Cold,
to say that.
y'all. Wi-Fi, you go.
No, I'm just serious. I was thinking about that too. Like you used to sit in there, get your kerosene, put it in there for the
Nice and
heater.
toasty.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Right now for is that 30? No,
Tangerine.
28.
Tangerine, yeah.
28.
Yeah,
right
off of Tangerine. That's what we called it.
Yeah. My grandma house on 17th and 27th.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Oh yeah, right around the corner.
you know
That was my
Swinging.
laundromat that I used to go get take the bottles to.
Yeah,
I used to take the bottles, get money back
Yeah.
and stuff, 10 cent recycling and stuff, man. And
yeah.
And then after that, we used to get wood because we had a fireplace.
Oh man, y'all.
Okay,
y'all
yeah.
Y'all was
Same
ready.
school, fireplace. Y'all had all that stuff.
Man, I was saying, man, Qiana was raised in something called an incubator of love.
Yeah, yes.
That's real.
I mean, it's love what we were too. We just wasn't
For
that
real.
long. You know what I mean?
It come out her.
Yeah.
That's the energy you get from Qiana.
That's
You know what I'm
true,
saying? It's because the nucleus that she was created inside of,
Yeah.
it never really changed.
That's right. That's right.
So like the nucleus I was in, right? Crack changed it.
Wednesday, it's cold outside here, 66 degrees.
Man, that's freezing.
Yeah, that's cold,
I
huh?
let the window up on the way here,
So
man.
you know, real Floridians, we only have like 5 winter outfits, maybe
Yeah.
4, but 4, maybe 5.
Straight up.
So I must be up northern because I got winter for days.
Oh yeah, you can do winter.
Listen, I got.
You can run a whole
Well,
season.
hold on, I'm ready.
You can
Right
run a
now,
whole season.
I go to the park right now and come
Got
back.
something like that. Yeah, got something in there.
Well, most
And
of
it's
us,
winter ready too. Right.
well, here you go. Most of us have about like 5 winter,
Appreciate you.
and
Facts.
then
The rest of us strapped.
if it goes longer than 5 days, we're mixing and matching, and we mad because we can't
Facts.
find nothing.
Facts.
No, that's true.
Every year I'm still buying new
Wait.
thermals.
So you just what? No mind. So what you saying is that we only got 5 cold days in Florida?
No.
Well, we got 5 cold
No, we
days.
probably got
We-
2.
5
that's what I'm
consecutive.
talking about.
Because what happens is it get cold for 5 days.
Then
Then
it's
you get a
gone.
front.
And then they say they
It-
post about the bipolar weather.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's right. That's
And
right.
then
That'd
when
be
it
me.
get cold again, your winter clothes are already washed again. So then you throw
You
them
ready.
back
Yeah.
on.
Back
and
strap.
you ready. But if it's the 6th they come, you messed up.
Man,
cuz.
I don't like how you just said people only got 5 days worth of winter clothes.
Man, why you don't like that right now? Because you strapped.
Let's put it in the chat. How
She
many
ain't
days
speaking
worth of
about
winter
you.
clothes you got? Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Y'all got winter clothes
Man.
for the whole season?
Listen,
Let
can,
us know.
Can you make it? Can you make it through the cold times?
Stephanie says she keep a jacket in the car.
See what I'm saying?
Jacket, that's jacket,
Just never
Breno.
know about around this time of the year.
People got clothes, dog. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate
Okay.
You really acting like she's
I'm
like,
just
you know
not-
what I'm
yeah.
saying? We feel really, yeah, like, come on,
You
man.
might have some
It's-
pieces, like you might
But
have
yeah,
some
like-
outfit
jackets.
game is so banana.
No, it's
The
not.
majority of their money is spent on clothes.
Okay.
You think only
No,
5
it's
days
not.
are for the cold?
No, it ain't,
It
man.
might be,
Still,
well,
people
it might
like
be. Look, it might be. It's just the
man,
people
people
who
money is spent on
People like
drugs,
me,
not
but listen,
jackets.
No, that's a what they call it, a stereotype.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's a stereotype that she playing with that you
Oh.
getting technical on.
No, what I'm saying is that the fact
You get technical on the.
It's really 7.
Yeah,
It's really 7. That was 5 outfits.
the fact remains
yeah. I think I know. I think I
that
understood
people's
what
swag
you
is bananas right now.
said. Yes, sir.
People got stupid clothing.
She just playing, brother.
People waiting on winter. People waiting on winter right now.
Now,
Yeah,
I
it
will
do be
tell
this
you,
plan,
so
though.
I'm gonna say this.
You got a trench coat
Okay,
jacket.
Okay,
He really do.
That's all that is.
So out
That's
of
all.
your, okay,
Took
so let me
pictures.
say this. Out of your 5 outfits that you have one that you want
It
to
was
step
7
out
Yeah,
with.
that's
You got your boots that you've been waiting on.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
The race car jacket.
so
the race car
No, I
jacket.
got my
the
FOI
so
jacket.
actually, so
I'll be
you,
ready to bring out the
you
FOI
see-
jacket.
You know what I'm saying?
but
Yeah.
you bring it out once.
It
a
ain't
year.
been cold enough for it
Thank
though.
you. You bring it out once a year.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, and then even your little jacket right there, that ain't no winter jacket.
No, it's not. It's a sporty like thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you
not a
got-
jacket.
That's
right.
sporty
You-
thing.
So what you have is sporty things that you gonna make it into some winter
It's a winter
that you
clothes,
can
right?
wear year round.
He got sporty things and he calling them winter clothes.
Yeah, that he can
Uh,
wear
Winter
year
outfit.
round.
This
Nah.
is when out there in Florida. This is my winter outfit.
Y'all heard it here.
what you do in Florida?
Y'all heard it here on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, man. 99 Jams, the burger, man. Sporty things.
Sporty
Stephanie
things.
even say 3 pair of sweats. See, look,
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
A parka,
Frigid.
stars, duck boots.
yeah.
Frigid.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, that sounds like a little more than 5.
But no, you can make
No,
it
it
more than
doesn't.
5 though.
You
You
can't
can
tell
win
me.
it mix and
But
match.
that's it.
Yeah.
You have
She
5
did.
outfits, and then when you get to that 6, you gotta mix
All
it
right,
up.
you was
Yeah.
an organizer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
All right.
organizer.
I
Wait,
never
see my
disagreed,
hand.
man.
What
Never
happened today in history?
So that
we
was
already
this.
talked
The
about
Sandy
that.
Hook was this day in history.
Okay.
But what I want
Look
to
at him off the jacket.
Yeah. So
Jacket man Jr. over here.
Jacket Man
Off the
Jr.
jacket.
Well, I know
Jacket
what
man
happened in
Jr.
history.
Y'all. He back.
So you listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new 99 Jams morning show right here on 99.1 FM. Kim,
we
you want
really country though,
to
y'all.
tell people how to send stars right quick?
Yes, because we got like 2 minutes, right?
Yep.
So here we go. This is what I need you to do. First, thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it.
We do.
We love y'all. And I mean, I think y'all love us too because y'all keep on coming back.
Mhm.
So I want you to say, go
Appreciate it.
down to the bottom of the page. You see where that bottom of the page is right there? It says share. Share it on your page right now. We greatly appreciate it. After you share it, you see where comments at. A lot of y'all already know what to do because y'all started out as soon as y'all came to the page. Tag a friend, tag a family member,
Tag a
tag
friend.
anybody that need to wake up this morning.
Wake
No
up.
more sleeping in bed.
Wake
right?
up.
So yes, once you do all of that, go to the stars. The stars is right next to the comment station. Hit it.
Yeah.
If you've never sent stars before, Facebook is very nice. They give you 200 for free.
Offer it.
Send them to us. We appreciate it, and we appreciate y'all. Right? If you've already did your free ones, then you purchase them. They are a cent a piece, just like any great deal. The more you buy, the cheaper they are. Right?
Yeah.
And there you go.
And-
And we
and there you have it.
appreciate it.
And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this break. Y'all know we got to take about 7 minutes at the top of the hour. But when we come back, we're gonna talk about a few things. We got Cardi B says she took out her butt shots,
Mhm.
and she's telling people don't get shots.
Uh-huh.
Diddy
had a baby.
and then DeSantis.
I want to talk about Mike Pete, man, too, man.
I
Mike
know.
Pete was a 17-year-old college student that was set up by a girlfriend on campus and got shot, man.
Jamal
Oh.
Bryant planning on using marijuana to get brothers to come to the church.
Pastor?
Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
pastor.
it's all right. Puff pass and
Yeah.
pray.
So we got a lot to talk about after the hour. So y'all stick around for it. We'll be right back with more of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Chance.
You may need to update your app then if you don't see the stars.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't see your stars, you might need to update the
that,
app,
yeah.
and that's why it's not there.
They gonna give
Okay.
you 200 for us.
Yeah, they
Be
are.
loyal to us.
Okay, let me do that too because it's not showing.
Were heard in the city center. The authorities say the air defense system shot down 11 Iranian-made drones around the capital, and a fragment from a drone hit 2 government buildings. There's no information about casualties. Days ago, President Zelensky had warned Ukrainians that Russia could be preparing a new wave of airstrikes. For weeks, Russia has been attacking Ukraine's essential infrastructure, leaving millions of people without power, heating, and water as temperatures across the country are below freezing. Kyiv has accused Moscow of weaponizing winter.
3 days of national mourning are beginning in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where officials say more than 120 people have been killed by the worst floods for years in the capital. Most of the dead were in hillside areas of Kinshasa, which suffered landslides in torrential rain. These residents blamed the government for failing to invest in infrastructure.
It was at 5 a.m. when the earth collapsed on the house. 9 people from the same family have died.
We have elected a government that is unable to give its people what they need. This road has threatened to collapse for a long time. We've alerted the authorities to this situation, but here is
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. We'll speak to Pentagon Papers whistleblower Daniel Ellsberg.
St. Petersburg.
Founder of Cryptome. They've both asked the Justice Department to indict them for possessing or publishing the same documents at the center of the case against Assange. This comes as Assange supporters fear his extradition to the United States could be just weeks away. Then, after 41 years in prison, most of it on death row, Mumia Abu-Jamal faces what could be his last chance this Friday for a new trial. We'll speak to a state judge in Arkansas, Wendell Griffin, who's publicly calling for the release of imprisoned journalists and former Black Panther in Pennsylvania, and directly appeal to the judge hearing Mumia Abu-Jamal's appeal.
Often we hear judges talk about following the rule of law and following precedent. But as the dissenting judge mentioned, Mumia Jamal has been denied the opportunity to gain the benefit of court precedent.
All that and more coming up. Welcome to the democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. President Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law Tuesday, enshrining federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages. Biden spoke at the celebratory event, which featured musical performers in a White House illuminated in rainbow colors.
Racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, transphobia are all connected. But the antidote to hate is love.
The new law would not prevent states from banning same-sex marriage if the conservative-led Supreme Court overturns Obergefell versus Hodges, but it would force those states to recognize marriages from another state. It also repeals the 1996 Defense of Marriage Act. Among the speakers at the White House ceremony were Qiana and Heidi Norton-Smith, plaintiffs in the lawsuit that led to marriage equality in Massachusetts. This is Heidi Norton-Smith.
It takes the efforts of many to bend the arc of history toward justice. Even now, there are so many places where people in our community are under attack. The work will continue, but look at how far we've come.
In Iran, at least 400 people have been sentenced to up to 10 years in prison for their involvement in anti-government protests, this according to officials. Human rights groups say over 14,000 people have been arrested across Iran since mobilizations began in mid-September, sparked by the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini in the custody of the so-called morality police. Meanwhile, 26-year-old Iranian soccer player Amir Nasser Azadani has reportedly been sentenced to death for his involvement in the protests. At least 2 protesters have already been executed. The UN warns Somalia could be facing famine within months, while as many as 500,000 children under the age of 5 could die by mid-2023. Hunger has already claimed many lives, with 200,000 people facing catastrophic food shortages due to a protracted drought, rising food costs, and violent insurgent attacks. 3 million people have been displaced. Some analysts say Somalia is already experiencing famine and are urging an official declaration to help garner urgently needed aid and attention. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, at least 120 people have been killed, dozens of others injured by floods and landslides caused by rain. Major roads were submerged in muddy water or destroyed by sinkholes while homes collapsed. Rescue efforts to find survivors continue. Local residents place blame on government neglect.
We have elected a government that is unable to give its people what they need. This road has been in threat of collapse for a long time. We have alerted the authorities to this situation, but here is the pure reality. It's really difficult for them to even build a gutter.
In South Africa, lawmakers have voted against impeaching President Cyril Ramaphosa over a report that says he hid undeclared stolen money at his game farm. The report prompted calls by opponents for Ramaphosa to resign, but lawmakers from the ruling African National Congress Party mostly supported the president in their vote. It comes as Ramaphosa will seek re-election as leader of the ANC at its national conference starting Friday. A new UNICEF report finds over 11,000 children have been killed or injured in the U.S.-backed Saudi-led war in Yemen since 2015. A 6-month ceasefire between warring parties expired in October. Meanwhile, the Senate withdrew an active vote on his Yemen War Powers resolution Tuesday evening, saying he's in talks with the Biden administration. Sanders said he would bring the resolution back if they could not reach an agreement on ending U.S. support for the war. In Ukraine, officials say their air defenses shot down 13 Russian drones earlier today, targeting the
we back, y'all. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Qiana.
Hey man, it's Pensacola Poppy, roll of quarters, ladies.
In the building, baby. And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See that.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool.
So before we do that, right?
I got something too, Q.
Go ahead, because we kind of on the same thing. Go ahead.
I gotta just keep a pocket full of change like my daddy used to, you know, so I can shake it when I say that.
Pensacola Poppy.
Yeah.
Pensacola Poppy got
I gotta roll a quarters for you, lady. Shing, 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 shing.
First of all, y'all don't understand.
I don't think that's where you was going though.
No, I kind of was going there. I'm going to say because he's 100% always in character.
Pensacola Poppy.
Pensacola Poppy sent me a video.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
Of another Pensacola.
Okay.
Good.
So yeah.
Velvet.
Pensacola Velvet. Pensacola.
The man trying to bite my style, man. Bitch, shouts out to DJ Khaled, man, while he on this tour, man. But he's in France. He called himself what he said.
He called it Velvet Poppy.
Yeah, Velvet Poppy. He's Velvet Poppy. But the way he said it, it was the
like
same way I say Pensacola Poppy, baby.
Influence, Reno. We definitely have influence.
Hey, man, big shouts out to the Miami boys. They love to steal the style from the bird, man. One time for one trick daddy, you know what I'm saying? Who has the Smart Is the New Gangster campaign that he's doing down there.
Originated
big bars that he stole from my brother, y'all brother Sean Soprano, man, as he is the creator of Smart Is the New Gangster. It's a hashtag for years.
For real.
So, you know, a lot of people have to come to the Berg and steal ideas.
Real deal.
Beat the game, y'all.
All right, y'all. So Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Man, big shout out to Jamal. When we came here with the controversy?
He did.
I know.
Yeah, it was a big thing when he came. I forgot about that. Thank you. Pastor Jamal Bryant, he wants to start growing marijuana in an effort to drive more black men to his church in Atlanta. The ex-husband of Real Housewives, that's his ex-wife, Giselle Bryant, made the shocking claim during an appearance on the Cool Sorrow podcast. The lead pastor at New Birth, lead pastor at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, explained how he wants to launch a cannabis business on the church's grounds to teach African-American men entrepreneurship and to persuade them to attend the church. This is what he said. I'm looking for people who smell like weed. New Birth is the largest land-owning black church in America.
Wow.
My position to my deacons is, why are we not raising cannabis?
That's right.
The pastor's comments shocked the podcast host, but the pastor continued to explain his plans. I'll be able to bring in black males. They are able to do it legally. I'm teaching them farming. I'm helping them to enhance the ecosystem.
That's right.
This is like, this is kind of a conversation. So if the guy, black boy in Bankhead said they growing weed at the church, where do I join? I don't need a pamphlet for him, Jamal said. He coming. Here's the thing though, Georgia's law is much more limited than other states as it relates to medical marijuana. For example, it does not legalize the sale or possession of marijuana in leaf form, and it does not authorize the production or sale of food products infused with it. So he can do it, but it's gonna be hard to do it in Georgia.
It ain't gonna be hard because he's just growing. You know, agriculture is a very important thing to the black community.
He's the largest landowner in the country,
Yeah,
so
but
his churches ain't limited to Georgia.
But hold on, but all I'm saying, cannot agricultural growth because of our preconceived notions of pot.
Yeah,
right. Because we judge the pothead. We tell you, say the potheads ain't this. Oh, he's a dumb pothead. He's this, here, and that. Most of the potheads I know are geniuses.
Okay.
On God.
One toke away from greatness.
Okay. So you gonna be a member?
Listen, chill. Yeah, I'm gonna I might send him my money via the internet because I really believe in the medicinal properties of the plant. I believe in the recreational properties of the plant, and I believe in the industrial qualities of the plant.
I'm willing to accept
medical, recreational, and industrial.
Okay.
See all three. That's where the money is.
So
advocate and champion and
being an opportunist. I'm not mad. I'm really not mad.
Yeah, nobody. I see that in the
comments. It's
pastor
weird.
being an opportunist.
Sweet ain't mad.
He said the pastor being. He said.
Yeah, I mean the pastor's last. He said he's the largest landowner in the country. You know what I'm saying? As far as his church and stuff. And I understand how large churches in my community have torn down a lot of houses and got rid of a lot of drug houses. So when the church has been one of the main components locking up drug dealers, and then you want to turn around and work with drug dealers, I just call it an opportunist.
So it's not second chances. It's not,
it's
not repentance.
No, I mean, it is what it is. It's all of those. It's all of those. It's not one or the other.
But here's the thing. So if you make a mistake, you realize, okay,
it's not one of. So you can talk. I'm just saying that it ain't that. I'm not saying it's not that.
Let me get on.
Okay, so if the man said, like what you said, pastors, they was a part of that up with hope, down with dope, lock up all the kids thing.
Hang them high.
I get that. Hang them high. The government responded, did it. So now if he's saying, okay, yeah, that was wrong, it was a mistake, and here's what we're going to do to try and correct the mistake. Is that opportunist, or is that really like,
that's
trying
both.
to correct the mistake?
That's both. It's not one or the other.
But you don't know. But you don't know if Pastor Jamal was back of the pulpit.
That's not a bad thing.
But listen, that's what I'm saying. So what we can't do is superimpose history on every in a certain position, right? Because you don't know Pastor Jamal was in the back of the pew smoking him a joint. You know what I'm saying? Getting his doggone good word in. And coming back in,
we're gonna act like he is though. I mean, for talking points, we don't have to act like a pastor smoking weed at the back of the church.
It's not.
I'm just saying.
We
can create all kind of pictures.
I just talk with some people now. I ain't gonna tell on nobody.
How you feel about the movie?
Yeah, I said I ain't mad at the pastor in the beginning.
Okay, got it. It's just his motivation that you got questioned.
I ain't questioning nothing. I'm just calling what I see.
No, you threw a little on it.
I mean, because
I'm just calling what I see.
But you threw a little. I'm gonna say this. So listening to it. Like it was a little, right?
Yeah,
opportunist.
Right, that was shade. Yeah. But if you say, okay, we see it, like at this point, we talk about all the time how we have legal traps right here that we're not making any money.
What they call dispensary?
Right.
Okay. And here comes the church talking about the biggest growth.
The church is now like, okay, we finna come in here. So how can we be mad at that?
Not mad. We clarified that.
So not
mad.
But then
but just the opportunist part of it. And
it don't sit well with y'all. That's all.
So no, because
I'm not. Sits well with us all.
We actually created an opportunity task force.
Yeah. See, hold on. See, opportunity sits well with us all.
Right.
So hold on.
Yeah.
Before you get caught, I know this. That's why when I called him that, I didn't call him that from an ill position. I didn't. No, I understand sometimes, but I wasn't.
It was kind of low.
Because I'm chilling. I'm pointing up right now, but I was chilling. So when you said it,
vibration wasn't like he's an opportunist. It was like opportunist. Which was kind of like
because the frequency of the room wasn't even up right now. I'm up right now, and I'll say opportunities at a different frequency. The room was a mellow room. I was chilling, eating my apple. I was like, opportunity.
Yes,
I
sir.
want crunk. I can get crunk because the room got crunk.
Yeah, the room.
I'm definitely inspired by the pastor in his efforts. I hope we can get some pastors in St. Pete because I'll join them brothers. Y'all got my number, y'all got my info, you know what I'm saying? And we can make some positive change in our community. The balance the stigma that's been put on people who use marijuana, right? Let's go ahead and call a spade. Because they gonna talk. They say the speaker on the podcast was shocked because the pastor say you gonna grow some weed. Come on, man. God planted them weed plants. Who put weed plants around here? Who made all the plants? The same person you praising for raising the sun and the moon for dropping, right? So get your mind right.
But they grow coca leaves and opium too.
Listen, and it's how you use the plant.
Okay, there you go.
See how abuse is one thing, use is another.
Thank you.
Like we ain't gotta walk the line so much. Like one thing still ain't
for the stars.
Still ain't illegal. Asphalt ain't illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like for we just continue to keep our minds on three things. That's a Squid Game. They locking us up for, which is weed, coke, and heroin, and trying to find convenient ways to sell the weed when we can literally start selling steel. We can literally start cutting down trees and selling paper. We can literally start going to the Congo and getting rubber trees and selling rubber. You see what I'm saying? Like we don't have to only just deal with those three things. Those three things are conveniently set up. Hold on. See, it's laws and regulations and everything, but those things are illegal.
But that's why politics is so important. See, that's
Politics
why I'm not taking that away from your talking point. All I'm adding is there's laws and regulations to steel manufacturing, right? There's laws and regulations to metal in all. So
it's not illegal to sell it.
No, I didn't say illegal. All I said is, but if you don't follow the laws and regulations, you are illegal.
I want to
but drugs are illegal.
When I said
it's a Squid Game.
My turn. When I said in Georgia, it was going to be hard for him to do it. What you said?
What I said?
Don't wait. What?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So what he's saying is what you
do.
Said.
Do.
But your response is like what I was saying is yeah, we know it's going to be hard. We know it's going to be difficult, but that don't mean it's impossible.
No.
It's not. But yeah.
And when he calls himself the largest landowner in the country, why are you limiting him to Georgia? You see what I'm saying? It didn't even sit well with me anyway. Why would you say, oh, we could do that in Georgia? He's the largest. He's saying he's the largest landowner, church-wise.
Because that's where he's going to. He's planning on growing.
His church is in Georgia might have the largest piece of land.
Yeah, and so doing it in Georgia is going to be difficult because they have some of the strictest laws against marijuana.
And so I'm sorry. Then when I heard it, because the Catholic Church is known as the largest landowner in the country, in the world.
Okay.
So that don't make the Catholic Church only have land.
I hear that.
When I heard that they are the largest church,
I hear that.
Landowner in the country, they didn't limit it.
Oh, so you just grow weed all over America now?
He has land all over the country. He has a church like Kojic. Kojic is a church of God in Christ and something, right? Okay, now Kojic churches are all over this country.
Yeah,
so Kojic will tell you that they have a lot of property all over the country. They're not just limited to St. Louis. They're not just limited to Georgia. So when that pastor is telling you that he's the largest landowner in the country as a church, I did not make him own all that property in Georgia. So it wouldn't be limited to him just growing stuff in Georgia.
Okay. Well, he didn't. So yeah, that's what we would assume that he would be starting. But you're right; it might be some other places.
Right,
as well.
you see that because I thought that it was like the largest property that he has in Georgia.
He said America, yeah.
But if it's everywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he said America.
Yeah, we be paying attention in school.
Yeah,
he said America, man. I mean,
but back to the essence of the conversation.
Yeah, then we go.
There's nothing wrong with marijuana.
Okay,
says me.
And the pastor
says a lot of people.
So what's happening with Diddy?
You know there's nothing wrong. You know there's nothing wrong. You know there's nothing wrong with marijuana. They literally watched us sell it for 20 years and criminalized us for it. And then now they just exited in the game and then creating a whole other game.
We back there, but we're gonna talk about Diddy now. Go ahead.
Take that.
So take that. So all right. So Diddy.
Yep.
Diddy just had a little baby girl.
Okay.
Right.
Did they do a DNA test already?
Apparently.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is they claiming the baby. They claiming the man baby
already. First sentence of the story, and you already asking about DNA tests. Hold on, Maury. Hold on.
The baby is yours.
That's stereotype.
You were not the father.
I know, my bad.
That's a stereotype.
If anybody
so he done did the swab.
Yeah.
You got Diddy.
So what makes this such like a big story?
Only one is because him and Young Miami been out in the public, even though they
friends, right?
I think they're friends.
I mean, that's what he said. He said they're friends.
You know, we've been classified these kind of friends since the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This ain't foreign. You know, this ain't friends
Come
from
on,
the
Q,
80s.
give it up. You holding back. Come on, talk to me.
This is definitely a special
Come on,
friendship. Just
like,
let's be clear. It's a special friendship. They got a special friendship.
I'm asking Qiana, are they friends?
So they're dating, right?
Okay.
But if you watch when she came out on her show and Diddy was on there, she tried to clarify what they were because clearly she had questions.
Okay.
And she wasn't getting the answers behind closed doors, right?
So she asked him in public.
On live.
On live.
Yeah.
And,
What we is.
and then he was like, what are we? He was like, we together. He was like, we are. You know, she was like real bad. He was like, oh, okay, whatever you said.
Okay.
But her and him,
So that made it official?
clearly not.
It made it official to her. So she's not the mother of the child.
Who is she? Who is Young Miami?
City Girls.
City Girl.
So she's a young talented artist from Miami, Florida, in her 20s, and she's dating a billionaire or close to a billionaire.
Yeah, and he just had a baby from somebody else.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's
Yeah.
got many. He got plenty of women in.
Yeah. So go ahead,
So
Q.
wait, because he's a billionaire, he got to have plenty of women.
Didn't say that.
I'm asking.
No, I know.
That's the question because you
Yeah.
No,
Qiana's asking.
No, you said he
Yeah.
got plenty of women.
He got plenty. We got
And
plenty
then
of
she
women.
responded by saying, so because he's a billionaire, he got plenty of women.
So
Like,
And I said no.
okay,
So
basically,
what
where you
makes
getting
him
that
have
from?
plenty of women?
Yeah, where did that come
That's why
from?
because you
And where'd that come from?
because you came out.
What?
Hold on, man. I feel the prosecution.
This
Hold on. I
man-
feel the prosecution.
this
I got
man
to
been with- This man been with
Y'all following it? Y'all
What
make
kind of
sure
question is this? This man been with all these women since we've been knowing him. What are y'all talking about right now? We've been knowing this since the 90s. He's not been in one relationship. He's been like open
No,
relationship
but
the
hold
whole
on,
time.
these new expectations, just like
What new expectations?
Just like
Explain.
Dion got new expectations. Diddy has new expectations.
I ain't in his back pocket like that. I ain't know he had new expectations. I'm just counting him for what I've been saying for the past 20 years.
Which is why you said he's a billionaire. He got plenty of women. Not
He hasn't been. The girl that died, his baby mama. Like he wouldn't even know. Like he had her, but he didn't even commit to her.
Yeah.
Like he had women, and like I'm just saying, like he ain't a new person to us. Like why we acting like?
No, that's
No.
what they do. It's
It's
a
a new
new Diddy.
situation, though.
It's a new
It's a
Diddy.
new. Oh, I know it's new. I'm
It's
sorry.
a new
No,
Diddy.
Okay.
Come
It's a new
on.
situation.
It's new, man.
Brother love now,
Come
right?
on,
Hey,
man.
brother love.
Come on, man.
I ain't
You know what's going on.
No, I don't.
You know about the new Dion.
No, I
See
don't.
what everybody expected from Dion.
No, I don't know what new Dion.
So,
from Dion back
so
in
can
the
we
day.
believe him when he say he don't know what's going on, so we can tell him what's going on?
Okay.
Instead of
Yeah.
arguing whether or not he knows what's
Oh,
going
he
on.
know what's going on. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I know I don't. I first off don't even watch TV.
He knows
The little stuff that I do keep up on is for conversation on our show. I don't follow. No, I don't know. I don't know Diddy back pocket like that.
Yeah, okay.
I just told her to tell me who Young Miami was, like literally on the air.
Yeah.
Quit playing with me.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Pause. Your wife say we are talking over each other.
Okay. Yeah, we
That's what we
do.
do.
But here's the thing too. This is what I realized because I struggle with this too. Right?
You do.
Watching the show, seeing how we interact on the show. Like this is how we interact though. Like for real. And it's people.
We need carte blanche, y'all.
You know,
You know, you give person carte blanche.
See how it happened? Like we do that for real. And we just got so used to doing it for real in real life that when we get on the show, we forget that we on the show and we just show up how we show up every day.
And we popcorn. So like when Brother John said something, she get carte blanche.
What's carte blanche?
It's like when you give somebody grace.
Yeah.
You know, you get carte blanche. Am I saying it right?
We have to look it up.
Yeah, can
That's my
somebody
job.
can
So I'll look up-
somebody
so now I'll look up
TV
the word.
land? But I'm just saying, you know, see, that's how we gotta pass it though. So I gotta put it.
Yeah.
I know the recipe. We just don't follow it.
Hey,
so-
and we appreciate y'all hanging in here with us.
Come on,
as we continue to cook
look,
this
it's back
sauce.
on Brother John. No, it's supposed to go around.
No, it's supposed to go
So
around.
it's- see,
Okay.
and it's getting back
I
on.
had my turn. You had your turn. Y'all had your turn.
Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. Just understand that right there, man. We definitely love y'all, the listeners out there in the Facebook world, and more importantly, the rest of the city, man, who can hear us on 99 Jams the Bird, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, man. This is your brother, man. Pensacola Poppy.
Ending the show.
No, I'm not ending the show. I'm just throwing this.
You just added way too much.
It's going that way. Yeah. It's going that way. It's going that way.
It's a paragraph, not a.
No, we gotta pass. We gotta pass the mic.
So you know what happened is that we did that, and then y'all reversed right back to y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you had the mic.
But
Come on, man.
Don't do that. I don't. That's a rotation. That's
You do
absolutely
kind of
not.
Hello, we have a caller. Hey, caller.
Joyful morning. Happy great birthday.
Good morning, Jeff.
Peace and light.
Everything, beautiful being.
Yes. So it's what's on your mind Wednesday. So what's on my mind? So why do we need a Santa Claus to come down the chimney when we have parents in the household who really do things, who really provided for the children? So it helps the children look on outside. They can't see what mom and daddy doing to provide for them, which creates a disconnect in the family. So I'm just saying why we needed a Santa Claus that had to come down the chimney, big, jolly.
Yeah.
Like mom who in it however they can to the program that's on. But I'm just saying why we needed the Santa Claus. Because we didn't have enough stuff that we needed the Santa Claus. That's all. That's on my mind.
I love it, Queen. I love it, Queen. So,
All right, Sierra, because you didn't say who you were, but we got you.
I said joyful everything.
We got your back.
That's the calling card.
So check it out. So when she says
you,
that, why do we have to have Santa Claus? I was speaking to someone about this earlier this week. The other day. It's like we don't like to tell our children there's a such thing as the Easter Bunny and stuff like that. And we were a generation of people who naturally didn't want to give our children bull crap. And what happened is we'll say stuff like it ain't no Santa Claus and this, that, and the third. But what I challenge us to do is to go get more of our history. Because when you're naturally trying to not have your children know bull crap, if you don't re-educate yourself, then you don't understand the other bull crap that you're still perpetuating into your children's lives. You see what I'm saying? So the natural thing
is the tip of the iceberg.
It's the tip of the iceberg because we legit was in the school saying that our kids ain't gonna believe in this and our kids ain't gonna believe in that silly stuff and rabbits don't even lay eggs. But that was naturally us trying to get bull crap out of our minds and not put it in children's mind and study your natural history. You see what I'm saying? Scholars don't start in the religious text, so just go with natural history, and then you'll also see the other stuff that's bull crap that you're feeding down as natural history.
So what I want to add, right?
Coming this way?
Yeah, we're going. Okay.
No, it's all right. Go ahead. You got it. I'm just clarifying. Go ahead.
No, what I want to add is, we are in a generation of awakening, right? It was starting when we was growing up. I mean, it started before us, and it was coming down. And we are farther away from that Santa Claus jolly moment than people ever would really mention, right? Because it's not what it was when we were children. You hear people talk about it's not the same, or it doesn't feel the same. Because, a lot of people waking it up and they're not participating in the jolly ho ho hum hum. You know what I mean? Of the scenario. And one of the things that really take me back, right, is because it's something that this was dropped on everybody, right? This was a big heavy load, a program, right? It was a program. Like it goes back as far as our calendar, right? We almost got to erase the calendar not to play this game.
Yeah.
Right. This is how deep this game go. It go back from the days they made from 30 days. It was 20 something or whatever it was. You get what I'm saying? And they made it to be what they wanted. So it's a big battle. It's not just gonna be a Santa Claus battle.
So I'm gonna ride this wave that my wife put in the chat. We teach our children not to tell lies. Don't lie to me, tell me the truth. But then I'm gonna sneak and put a dollar under your pillow in exchange for that little crusty rotten tooth that fell out and say that the tooth fairy did it. I'm gonna have you believe in bunnies lay eggs and fat white men come down chimneys that don't exist in our neighborhoods, but we telling our children be honest and don't lie to us.
Not we.
And we call it fun. We talking about the culture and most people. So, yeah.
Yeah, because when I say y'all,
say y'all. It's our people.
I brought my last
my people do that. Hold on. My people do that, and I'm with my people. So that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm walking in saying, okay, like this is what we as a people do.
Okay.
All right, so that's where I'm at with that. And then the other part of it, just real quick, to your point, I remember when I joined the Nation of Islam back in like the late 90s, and we were still teaching that Jesus wasn't black. Like we don't really have to teach that no more. So the age of awakening is real because there was a time where like that was the thing. Like we had to teach people, like we had to point to the Bible and show them in the scripture and point to the map and show them where Jerusalem is on the map, show them where Egypt is, and like really show them that this was all of this stuff was going down in Africa. We used to like really have to like sit down and teach people that. We don't have to teach that no more. So
now we teaching
so,
them those are allegorical stories that are related to the actual sun.
There you go, Q.
Okay, so I'm gonna be on.
Who's teaching that thing?
I'm gonna be on the other side of the pancake, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So here we go. When you think about it, I think we put so much emphasis on like the negative aspect of it. We forget the imagination and the excitement that you give your children. And you want your children to dream beyond the stars. And then when you take all that from them, you put them in this box. This is why I like the holiday. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Santa's real, but I'm letting my child know that the impossible is possible. And when we take that from them, we put them in a box. You don't always have to be.
I feel that.
It always don't have
That's
to
dope,
be the
dog.
negative part.
That
of
was
it.
dope. Oh,
You
she
know?
took all that and spit that out. That's my
She
dog.
sat with it and waited for
Yeah,
it,
she
too.
gave it
Good
to her.
job. You modeled how it's
Yeah.
supposed to go. Because she could have bounced early, but you held on to it.
She got us in the trap. She got us into a trap.
As Reno said, a figure four. No, I
And
get
I'm
that.
gonna say, and for the parents, I mean, you like anything, you subscribe whatever you want to do in your household. But when you take that from your children, tell them not to take it from other people's children because that is not your place.
Oh, so when you tell somebody, so can they come back later? Can we go?
No, this is
we
because,
keep going,
because you know your household be like, we don't tell no lies. This is what it is.
Yeah, but you can't push
But
that.
then
No,
you
I got
push
you.
it on other people's children.
So now your 6-year-old in Miss Ashworth class telling
And now-
everybody ain't no Santa Claus.
And then now you have
And they
children
crying.
that's over here bickering and and in their household there is. You know what I mean? There is. That is their reality. You are the Santa Claus. Now, how you want to paint Santa Claus is how you want to paint it. You can't be Santa Claus, but there is still somebody who brings gifts.
Okay.
That's what Tasha said. She said, both it's good here to encourage imagination.
See, it's all imagination because Santa Claus derived from a story of a guy called Nimrod, right? Nimrod, she is a lie, but Nimrod lived in Afghanistan or Iraq, like the Iraq area of the world. Like North Africa, but no, back then they called it South Africa because Africa was upside down.
Okay,
the compass. So, but it's North Africa or right now in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? He was a ruler, and the way they honored that ruler, they would cut down evergreen trees and put presents under it. He was a pedophilia. He ate children. He was a carnivore. What they call it when you eat people?
Yeah.
Not carnivore, but
cannibal.
Cannibal. He was a cannibal. They practiced cannibalism. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
I'm watching Reno. That's all.
I know. Because we don't talk about this before. But listen, because people don't believe in the Nimrod story. Hold it. He's coming your way. Because people don't believe in the Nimrod story. But a lot of people don't know Nimrod's castle destroyed or whatever they call it, Babylon, whatever they call it.
In one of those wars.
No, yeah, when the Taliban took back control, they said they were going to destroy all infidels and they destroyed his castle.
So we have a caller.
And then I want to hear Reno got.
And then
Hold on.
Okay, and then I'm gonna say there's good and bad and everything.
Yeah.
Then I agree with it. I just think so. Joyful morning. I agree with Q, but I think when you don't leave it really up to the imagination, when you give attributes and descriptions of what things look like, because I still yet to know what the tooth fairy look like.
Yeah.
So you left that to my imagination, not so much with Santa Claus. So that's all I'm saying. Like you gave attributes on what this Santa Claus look like, what's required to have it, again, something outside of the home that was needed to bring to the home. So I'm just saying, like, without that, I don't think it would be a motive. So I think it was kind of a motive. Like, again, I don't know what the tooth fairy look like. So I'm blessed to have my imagination if it's sparkly, tall, short, medium, or small, but not with Santa Claus.
He looked just like your mama.
Fair is short, small, and with wings.
That was your imagination, though. That wasn't the description that was given to you. What you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said mine.
No, I get what you're saying.
Hold on, Queen. You said your tooth fairy was a boy, not a girl?
Yeah, my tooth fairy was a boy, not a girl.
Yeah, so that was how you imagine it.
Because they left it from my imagination.
Yeah.
It's a great job.
No, I appreciate it.
That's good.
If I could, and we talked about this the other day. Thank you, Sierra. If I I was always like a moral to the story type of person, and so when you hear that and you listen to it, like there's morals. You know, that's
the African way.
The moral to the story is blah
That's
blah
the
blah.
African way.
And so the moral to the story is what the real truth is, and so you can put all of these other allegories. You can talk about eating children. Did it?
Say that came from
Yeah, but I mean, whatever you whatever you put in the story is what you put in the story. But what you take away from it is how you're gonna live your life, and so that's where I'm at.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to say, I know, like in my house.
Give us your name, caller.
Oh, Courtney.
Hey, Courtney. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't tell my kids. I've never told them Santa Claus, like there's no Santa Claus. But when people ask them I never say, what is Santa Claus going to bring you for Christmas? I don't do all that because I work very hard to take care of my kids. But when people say, y'all, what's Santa Claus going to bring? And they look at me and I say, what they're trying to ask you is, what is God going to provide me with resources to get you Christmas?
Teach that.
And then when I say it like that, they roll off what they want.
Yeah.
I said, and I explained to them, God provides for us. And I understand what Qiana was saying about the spiritual, the excitement and all,
imagination.
Right, but the reality of it is that around this time, most people are just generous and happy, and it is a beautiful thing. That's a blessing all in itself. Just last night, we were in the store, and I was buying me something to eat, and the man behind me told the cashier, and I'm going to pay for it. And I looked, and I said, well, what a blessing. I said, well, God bless you. I said, you have yourself a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday or whatever it is you do. And he was like, well, thank you. That's a blessing. That's the spirit. That's the spirit and the fun, and the magical part of this time of the year. But I don't tell my kids there's no Christmas. There's no Santa Claus. And I also tell them, don't tell anybody else there's no Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you don't want to ruin it for another person's child.
That's what's up.
But they're fine with it, and they're happy around this time. They get gifts, and we do everything else. But I've had my baby boy say to me, well, I don't want a white man to come down here while we sleep, Mom.
Ooh, that's real.
And I say, your mama ain't nobody coming up here while you sleep. So
Nobody coming down here.
What you present, and I agree. I forget which one of y'all said it, that don't. If you get them all the negative parts of ain't no Santa, ain't no Easter Bunny. What are you gonna fill them? Like, what are you gonna replace with that? Like you said, replace some knowledge with it.
That's right.
Replace something with it.
That's right.
Otherwise, somebody else gonna fill them up with something that you don't want them to know.
That's right.
I agree.
I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Okay, go Reno.
Nah, don't you do that.
He passed. He can take a pass.
No, man.
Say that there's no wrong or right answer for the holiday, right? I think that when you do it for this holiday, you try to promote kids to be good. And
be good or you ain't getting nothing. Right. We do that all year, though.
We do it all year, but we push your heart because you get the gifts. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, do what makes you happy in your household, and then feed your kids however you want to feed them. At the end of the day,
that sounds like the advice that we was giving out for COVID.
Boy, don't talk about that because before we got a couple things to talk about.
Okay.
But brothers, y'all gotta go soon.
Okay, Cardi B is telling people not to get butt shots anymore.
Uh-oh.
So this is a big conversation. We want you to drop your thoughts into the comments. I want you to call in. Cardi B has made a public statement about her surgery.
Yeah.
Right. And she's not knocking people with surgery. So she was clear. She was like, hey, I'm not knocking y'all for what y'all doing, but do not go down there and get butt shots. She talked about your blood. She talked about beady. And I've never heard nobody talk about that, right?
Yeah. Not even just butt shots, because they transfer your fat, right?
Yeah, that's the other part of it. Yeah.
That is.
I didn't know that.
So the butt shots were earlier when they used to.
You gotta watch the video.
You
gotta watch the video.
I saw what she was saying. What she was saying was like, if you got enough fat, they can take the fat and move it.
Right.
But if you don't got enough fat, then they give you the shots and put something artificial in there.
Right.
What?
So
that was the whole video.
You telling people go watch the video. Back to you, Q.
I watched the good 30, 40 seconds, man.
But he saw the video, though.
My super fan, y'all. Listen, it's hard for me to watch something over a minute.
Yeah.
It got to be like a novel.
So here we go, y'all.
She said K. Michelle said it too as well.
So K. Michelle took hers out. So K Michelle, because she had got the fat transferred and the butt shots too.
Okay.
But she ended up taking hers out because she was in a lot of pain.
That's what he said.
But if you look, a lot of Cardi B is not the first one to do this.
To like make this type of announcement.
No, she's not.
Okay.
Because a lot of the IG models and all that other stuff are coming out saying like, "Yo, this is a bad decision." Like they're getting sore and all of
people dying. Like people going over to another countries, and literally going to the surgery, going down to the
okay, they've been dying because that's how Kanye West's mom passed away.
I didn't know that.
So following up on the after surgery. Right?
Kanye said he sacrificed them.
Hold on.
Okay,
hey.
I got some on that, but go ahead.
What's going on?
Is that Damian Davis up there like Granny?
Man, what? And David, do what the business is, my brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, ladies, be careful about that surgery, man, because I had a homegirl. She went to Miami, and the doctor had to drop. And he fell asleep on her surgery, and he couldn't find no fat out her body. And he woke up and picked chicken in her booty. And when I went to go pick her, she came out walking and talking like a bird, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's rough like
man, you tripping.
Be safe, y'all. I appreciate the PSA, my brother.
Before surgery, and picked chicken fat in the girl booty, man. The girl came out there walking straight like a bird, man.
Wow.
Clucking.
Wow. Yeah, because you never know what you're gonna get, huh?
You never know what you're gonna get. Thank you, Davey. Oh yeah, I see. Go ahead. No, say it.
I'm hollering at y'all later.
Okay, so the moral to the story.
No, but seriously,
what you gonna get?
Health ailments coming from the surgeries, and she's talking
You can see it
about
in my
that.
dog eyes, man. He's real serious about this conversation too, man.
Yeah,
Listen, it's serious.
He gets dilated. Yeah.
Listen, no, it's not because it's real.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
I know it's real. I know
I
it's
want
real.
to say this. I have a homegirl who did get the shot prior to them transfer, and like she's been trying to go to doctors to get it fixed, but because it was something foreign in her body, they won't touch it.
Yeah.
They won't touch it. But then you had the person that was putting Fix-A-Flat, remember?
And people,
And you know, and that was making
Fix-A-Flat, dog.
right. And so you really got to be careful when you're
got to.
altering your bodies. And then what happened is we have lived in a society where perfection is what people are looking for, right? And then we're teaching it to our children.
And it's so
then
temporary.
At 20 years old and 25, you don't even know what
What
your
you gonna end
body's
up with.
gonna develop to, and then you're already cutting and doing all this other stuff to your body
That's
that
what-
you don't need to do at this point.
That's what Cardi B was saying, that you at an age, like a lot of people doing it at 19, 20, 25. Ooh, she really bracing it on her story. And like she said, you know, you still got a lot of growing and a lot of life to live. You know, you really cutting yourself short, not to be a term, but you cutting, you know, your growth. So we just saying that out, you know, Cardi B, big shots to her, because people don't talk about their health ailments.
Facts.
Especially about these cosmetic surgeries.
Yes.
People often suffer in silence. Only their family know what's going on.
I commend them for that.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, like, real
they
talk.
keep that on the low, and it's big because now we can talk about it in open way on our show to talk to more people about it. To maybe people won't go and get that surgery. That
Remember, y'all, man, we were
in
picking
danger of their life.
I remember the women picking on women in the 90s, man, about getting the lip shots and all the breast shots and everything. To watch our women turn around and start doing the same thing. It's like, don't y'all remember what y'all was saying in the 90s?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no different. I was saying before we got on the air. It's sad to see that you know, like largely we were saying, and we were picking on people's children on these talk shows in the 90s, and how our children never be that way. To watch our
girls who had weave in their hair. Remember that?
Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
That didn't last.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Protect the style.
Yeah.
That ain't last.
But I mean, that was like what to your point. Like, it was like a joke at first, and then it became like now everybody doing it.
Somebody just inboxed really quick where you said that Kanye West said he sacrificed his mom. No, what he said was his mom was sacrificed.
Yeah, I got that
not
too.
that he sacrificed.
Yeah. Somebody from down the street sacrificed his mama. Yeah, for his witches.
Yeah, I ain't really gonna.
Hey man, that's a whole can of worms.
The dude at the corner store where he grew up with sacrificed his mama for his riches.
We're gonna turn all the way up if we get into that one.
Yeah, okay. Let's ask you before you leave.
Okay, got it.
Ask
Let me
you.
read this headline because that's what's on the events.
We ain't never go there.
We never talked about it, so I want to read the headline and then we can do ask you. So keep your eyes open. This is kind of the stay woke moment, right? So Governor Ron DeSantis on Tuesday asked the Florida Supreme Court to impanel a grand jury to investigate wrongdoing, that's in quotes, linked to the COVID-19 vaccines, including spreading false and misleading claims about the efficacy of the doses. He did this during a live stream roundtable discussion with the Florida Surgeon General. Basically, long story short, is he's saying that the pharmaceutical industry has had a history of misleading people to buy their products. And so he's just asking them to take a look into any misdeeds or any misleading actions that may have been taken to encourage the population to take shots.
I can go first?
So keep your eyes open on that one. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
First thing I want to say, this is very presidential, right? Because we've always had problems with the medical industry. People always talk under their breath about the medical industry. So now, in a very public way, he's calling them to the carpet. Show us the evidence of what you said. Show us that you weren't lying when you told everybody to do this.
Yep.
Because a lot of people lost their job. A lot of people got shamed. It's been a lot of public and private stuff going on behind some things that they're clearly saying wasn't true.
Yeah.
They saying they have the documents, and Fauci even said some of the stuff he said wasn't true.
Yeah.
He was just rolling with the wave. So now here's somebody saying, hey, I'm calling you to the carpet for what you said and what you did.
Yeah.
I think, like I say, it's very presidential.
And he's approaching the businesses that produced it.
This is very presidential.
So it's the business.
I hate to say it.
Because we always associate these pharmaceutical companies as healthcare providers.
No,
they're not healthcare providers.
No.
They're producing a product. And what he's saying is we want to make sure that the product that you told us, go ahead, do it.
I'm gonna say this. They say this chestnut checkers.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
But yeah,
This is also coming from the governor who said this is in his victory speech. He said that this is Florida is the state where woke goes to die.
Yep.
And when they asked in a lawsuit, what does woke mean? DeSantis communication director said woke was a slang using activism, progressive activism, and a general belief that the systematic injustices in the country. And so what he's saying, our governor is saying that there are systematic injustices in the country, and that's where he kills it.
Right. Yeah, this is the place where woke goes to die, but he's taking this position as
It's
though
a woke position.
as though he's woke.
Listen, it's a woke position, so he's really in conflict with his own positions right now.
Yeah.
And that's all right. They do this in politics every day.
Okay.
And because
Listen,
listen, they do this in politics every day.
What's the bigger picture?
They don't only just do this in politics. People do this in real life. We hear it in the music. No. We hear it in the music. And I'm going to tell you what I do know is that any politician, you're not going to agree with them 100%, and you ain't going to disagree with them 100%. We take the wins where the wins, and then we take the losses where the losses are.
Right.
And then that's just it.
Yeah, no, that's no.
You can see in the camera on the thing. See how this sister lose. No, you ain't that way.
You've been there for 5 minutes. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You ain't gotta go nowhere.
Legendary.
Let's get the Ice Cube before we get some Hughes on the air, man. For the people to get some shoes off and shout.
Lose your shoes. Shout all around the house. But yeah, keep your eyes open on that. That's going to be a big deal in the days and months and weeks ahead. So let me get to ask Qiana. It's kind of a long one, so I'm going to see if I can abbreviate it, and then we can land this plane, y'all. So, dear Qiana.
That sound like my Siri. That sound like my Siri.
I've been in love with a man for 34 years. I was once and divorced him because of drugs. I have been remarried for 8 years now to a wonderful man who is good to me, but aloof to my needs and desires. I'm not in love with him. We talked early in the marriage about my needs. He got gloomy and said that he would try. That lasted for a very short time. He's focused only on what he needs and wants. 3 years ago, my ex lost his mother. I contacted his brother to offer sympathy, and then my ex contacted me. We have talked and cried together. He has apologized and asked for forgiveness. He then told me that he has never stopped loving me. We have met a couple of times since then, and I'm having a hard time deciding what to do. My home is more like a small office than a home. We have a business, a ministry, and I have a full-time job. I can't just pack up and leave. But in my heart, I want to go back to my ex. He has been clean years, faded problems, and is now not going to return to that life.
Won't he do it?
What do I do?
Won't he do it?
Hold on. Let her talk. I can hear what you
Won't he do it?
And I'm gonna listen in the car. I love y'all. See y'all soon.
All right, soon, my brother. God. The ministry calling.
So, oh, he gotta go. He got a point.
Go.
Okay, so here we go. This is a hard one, right?
Yeah, it is very.
Because again, this is the matters of the heart,
Yep.
and
people
so
married.
people are married. So I mean, first you be careful with the decisions that you make, right? Because a lot of times people hop into situations that they're not ready to be in, just to be satisfied or to be laying next to someone, right? And then sometimes it makes great business sense to be with somebody. You have to.
It always do.
It does. You
Marriage
have to,
is a business.
It does, but sometimes you want. I mean, do you not want love in your marriage?
It's funny because the divorce rate don't accumulate to the going into marriage rate. You know, we go into marriage because we in love, but the high percentage of divorces where the love went at because you didn't go in with love. Went in with financial decisions.
No. You went in with love, but you did not handle your finances properly. There's a difference. What happened is you don't have those real conversations and make sure that y'all on the same page. And so when those problems,
But that's still bullcrap because it's for better. Hold on, it's bullcrap because it's for better or worse. It's for better or worse. Hold on. Financial decisions are better. That's the worst. You're supposed to hang in there for worse. Those are your vows.
Now hold on, I agree with you because
so the divorce rate in this country it doesn't accumulate to the it don't equal the same as we're entering marriage because we love one another.
But hold on, let's talk about the letter. Let's talk about the letter. The letter said, yeah, I got to bring it back. The letter said she left the one husband. He was on drugs. Hold on.
And
she married the new guy, and the new guy talked about her need. And the guy wasn't really on the same page with her.
Right.
And then that's when the mama died. And then the old boyfriend, the old husband came back.
So are we gonna talk about the fact that these church folks doing this?
I mean, it's human. It ain't human.
Whether
you go to church or not, it's human beings.
They judging the pastor. They judging the church.
Humans
she busy. She said she got a family business and she runs the church. Just overlook that part. You know what I'm saying? These are the great examples in the community that should be doing stuff. In this letter here, I'm talking to my ex-boyfriend. I'm running the church. Like it's just
those human activities.
Let's stop right quick. No. Okay, pause for a second. Let's not act like we are not human. I don't care if you're in the church or not in the church, you are still human.
We was blessed with that. That's a blessing.
And so, and I'm going to tell you, if you never double back and then
you said they double back,
and gave sympathy to somebody that you cared about, then you didn't really care about them. If your ex right now and you was married to them for so many years and your mother-in-law,
I hear that though.
Passed away and you don't call back.
But some of them be stubborn so bad that you're not gonna call back. But some of them not. Yeah.
See what happened when he called back, or when she called back.
They got back.
Now she right here questioning should she be back with him tonight. That's why you don't do stuff like that when you married. Go on about your business, man. Go on about your business. I don't want my wife dealing with her ex-husband and all that kind of stuff in conversation because that's what kind of stuff happened. Case in point. While we running our church, while we running our church together and running our home business together, you right here giving sympathy to your ex-husband who had a drug problem, who no longer has a drug problem, who's also had the time to confess his love to you. None of this happens when you still locked in with me. You see what I'm saying? But when you ain't locked in, guess what can happen? You can do stuff like that right there. You can then now another man got your ear. You see what I'm saying? Another man shouldn't have your ear like that right there.
You want me to tell you, you're right. But you know who problem that also is? That husband who did not listen to his wife.
Definitely his problem too.
Do you want me to tell you? Because again, when we talk about women stepping out and stuff like, it's usually an emotional attachment that they're not.
Women step out when they want to. All that.
No, you gotta let her finish.
I can't finish a statement anyway. Because everybody in there like, let her finish. I have it. No, you good.
I didn't do it. I'm trying to hear you.
I've been there for an hour, man. This little last little minute ain't the whole show interrupting you, but go ahead.
Ain't nobody said that. I just said that they just said that, not the whole show. But actually, they really have.
I know we have. We got to get it better.
Go, Q.
No, listen. We have to get it back.
No, go. We're on the air right now. No dead time. If you're not gonna finish that right there, let's move on. Let's get on. We ain't got to sit here and do this.
All right. This has been the Tampa Bay.
Man, how are you gonna do this here, man?
My final thoughts is
go ahead.
Be the change you want to be. Write down the 5 things that made you happy today. Go ahead.
What's going on? We got 7 minutes.
We have December 17th, Child's Park is going to have a bike giveaway. Where's your helmet at with Crunk Coco and the Child's Park. For the social is going to be December 17th at 1 p.m. We're going to have the registration link on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club later today.
Are you feeding?
Yes, it's going to be a dinner. It's going to be bike giveaway. It's going to be helmet giveaway. It's also going to be toy giveaway. Big shout out to Representative Rayner and her whole office. Community Tampa Bay, Feeding Tampa Bay, the Child's Park Neighborhood Association, St. Pete Rec Center. Everybody involved with this. This was not a small endeavor. We're looking to help kids and their families. Man, want to get to know the kids, want to get to know the people in the community. So come on out December 17th, Child's Park Rec Center.
Oh man, big fun, man. Also, big shout out to Aaron McFarlane for helping on with that as well, man. Doing major work behind the scenes. I call it the duck legs, y'all. A lot of work is being done in these events, man. I get to sit there front row and be a part of them. Duck legs meaning what, y'all? We always go to the lake, and when we go to the lake, we see a duck sliding across the lake, but we never really see the hard work that the legs are doing up under the water. And so it's a big shout out to the people in the community, man. Those who want to be known and those who don't want to be known. The work is not being ignored. The work is being done, and it's really helping people. I'm not a big fan of this particular holiday, but anytime giving back to children to help children, I don't mind helping with that right there. So I also lend my talents and my gifts to that event as well. Big shout out to the Child's Park Neighborhood Association, and big shout out to a Friday. So today and tomorrow, I have the honor something for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'll be making my way around to the parks and seeing what's going on at different parks on the Friday show. We can tell you about what's going on in the city, other than what's going on in Child's Park, and that's just something that I'm going to take on. Because I swear to God, I said that on the show last Friday, and man, you have no idea how I felt when I rode past Camel Park and seeing Tasco out there doing their thing, and they had the whole field took up, and we didn't even mention that on the air. And so that's one of the things I want to highlight in the community, that yes, there's more work being done than just in Child's Park, y'all, and we know that, and we want to make sure that y'all understand that the community is here. I will, as Pensacola Poppy, y'all, I keep a roll of quarters specifically for the ladies because it's always laundry day somewhere.
Yes, you can bring your granddaughter.
Oh, absolutely, please.
Right.
Listen, and it ain't just for people who I echo Charles Soprano when he says that, y'all. It's not just for the Child's Park Neighborhood Association. It's just the location of the event, y'all. And so anybody that if you live in on Lynn Lake, if you live in almost said Snell Isle, but if you live in Coquina Key, anywhere in the city, it's just happened to be the event in Child's Park. So you don't have to be a Child's Park Neighborhood Association member to come and get some stuff for your children, y'all, or your grandkids, man. Pull up, show out, get all this stuff for these people because people are donating at a high rate, and we don't want to sit here like leftover foods. We don't want to be telling people, hey man, where you gonna put that bicycle at? Where you gonna put that bicycle at? We want to make sure that at the end of this event, we're gonna be contacting people starting the next day to make sure that we have more about. We send like let us do that.
All right, and this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Y'all have a great day.
Peace the ancient way.
People in Southeast Arkansas by white vigilantes and by federal troops, by the way. And the incarceration and the refusal to release Mumia Abu-Jamal. Mumia Abu-Jamal is now in prison because, and let's be clear, because of bloodlust. There is the notion that a police officer was murdered. Daniel Faulkner was murdered. And the prosecution messed up. The investigation messed up. And Mumia Abu-Jamal was wrongfully prosecuted, wrongfully convicted, wrongfully sentenced, and is now wrongfully incarcerated. But our bloodlust prevents us from acknowledging that. And I understand that as a state court trial judge who has tried murder cases, I understand that the pain of victims, I understand the desire of colleagues to get revenge. However, justice is never about revenge. We do not allow victims or the friends or partners of the murdered to decide what justice is. Justice is doing right, not getting revenge. And we need to understand the difference between the two.
Judge Wendell Griffin, there's so much more to talk about. Judge Griffin wrote the essay, Finding Justice for Both Maureen Faulkner and Mumia Abu-Jamal, referring to the widow of the slain Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner. We will link to your piece, and we will also do a part 2 conversation with you as you come to the end of your judicial career. You'll be retiring at the end of December after 24 years on the bench. You are also the pastor of the New Millennium Church and author of The Fierce Urgency of Prophetic Hope. In part 2 of our conversation, we're going to talk about your illustrious career on the bench. People should check it out at democracynow.org. That does it for our show. Democracy Now! Produced with Whitney Phelps, Mike Berkey, and Pastor Messiah Rhodes.
St. Petersburg, 99 Jams. Total Praise, that's right, Total Praise, broadcasting live each and every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. Fridays, 9 to 10:30 a.m. Sundays, 7 to 9 a.m. Your radio gospel angel.
Hi, this is Sister Hughes of Total Praise on WUAM, giving you the best gospel. I make you lose your shoes, shout all around in the house.
That's right, your host, Sister Diane Hughes, right here on 99 Jams, your radio gospel angel here on 99 Jams, the Bird.
Have problems with your brakes or CV joints? Then go to Florida Brakes and Tires. Mr. Roosevelt and his experienced team will take care of that for you at a very competitive price. You cannot beat. That's Florida Brakes and Tires. 1206 St. Petersburg. They also provide you with roadside service and offer you both new and used tires. Call Florida Brakes and Tires at 727-327-5288. That's 727-327-5288. Or just go up at the shop at 1254 34th Street South, St. Pete. That's 1254 34th Street South, St. Pete. Have problems with your brakes or CV joints? Then go to Florida Brakes and Tires. Mr. Roosevelt and his experienced team will take care of that for you at a very competitive price. You cannot beat. That's Florida Brakes and Tires, located at 1254 34th Street South, St. Petersburg. They also provide you with roadside service and offer you both new and used tires. Call Florida Brakes and Tires at 727-327-5288. That's 727-327-5288. Or just go up at the shop at 1254 34th Street South, St. Pete. That's 1254 34th Street South, St. Petersburg.